as you guys know, you've been watching NASCAR for a minute. The playoffs get reset at
every three races.
But at the beginning of the playoffs, they're reseeded based on their playoff points that they've accumulated throughout the season. William Byron and Martin Truex are tied for playoff points. They both start with 2,036 points. Then in third is Denny Hamlin with 2,025, so he's 11 points behind the top two. Then you have Chris Buescher actually fourth with 2,021, only 4 points behind Denny. Kyle Busch with 2019, Larson with 17, Bell with 14, Ross with 11, Brad Keselowski with 10, Tyler Reddick with 9, Joey and Ryan with 8 apiece. Michael McDowell with 2007, Ricky Stenhouse 2005, Kevin Harvick with 2004, and Bubba Wallace with 2000 even, meaning Bubba Wallace has no playoff points going into the playoffs. Now, those extra points follow you throughout each round. So
if you advance,
so William Byron will be 36 higher than
if he doesn't win races in these.
Bubba, if he doesn't win races or stages throughout the playoffs. So that's the ranking of the drivers. So who do you have moving on?
Okay, so out of 16, we have, if I'm not mistaken, we got Darlington, Bristol, we got Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. I think that's right in the order, if I'm not mistaken. Double check that for me. Okay, so who I have advancing to the round of 12?
12.
William Byron, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, and Bubba Wallace. So who I have not making it, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Michael McDowell, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
So you're saying Kyle Busch ain't going to win?
He can. He just won't. He just won't do it in this first round. I just haven't seen the consistency, really the speed from the 18 this whole summer. And, I know he won 3 races earlier on in the year, but it just hasn't shown nothing. The 8 team, you saw this with Tyler Reddick last year, past couple of years. They've been fast, they won races, but then the playoffs start, and they kind of... Now, I think Kyle Busch, it's kind of stupid if you think about it, betting against Kyle Busch at Bristol. Even Darlington, he's pretty damn good at Darlington, too. I just don't see it. Ross Chastain, same thing. He's really good at Darlington. He's challenged for wins, multiple wins since he's been at Trackhouse. That one team, Trackhouse, is just too inconsistent for me. And Bristol's really not a good track for him. And Kansas is up and down. And Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., not a whole lot to explain there. Fords are not really... I think Michael McDowell's best chance will be Bristol. And I think we'll have to run top 5. And he can. But Darlington and Bristol, or Darlington and Kansas, really just doesn't seem like it's Michael McDowell's style to do well in. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they've done well this year. They've ran very well at certain tracks that I didn't think they'd run that well at. But Daytona 500 winner, really haven't competed for really any wins since then. Haven't shown winning speed anywhere else. And you got Bristol, which Ricky's ran good there in the past, but other than that, not a whole lot you can bank on that 47. So that's why I got those 4 out.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you. However, I will say this: the guys that aren't going to make it are the 45, the 47, the 4, and the 23. The reason that I say the only one that's really controversial there is the 45.
Yeah.
And not really. Based on the way he's run, maybe it's controversial, but he just doesn't get finishes. And playoffs are about finishes, getting stage points, and he's getting poor finishes every week. He have a good stage 1, and then they'll fuck up on pit strategy or leave a wheel loose or something. And he just never gets a good finish. Darlington and Bristol are two tracks where you cannot have mistakes. You will get beaten into the ground making mistakes at these racetracks. Two racetracks that he's going to be good at, but I just don't trust that team to, similar like you did with the 99 coming into the playoffs, trying to make the playoffs. You couldn't trust the 99 to make the playoffs. I can't trust the 45 to make it out of that round. And then the 47, he's not fast enough to compete with the rest of the playoff drivers. He's going to finish where he usually finishes, which is, top 20, maybe top 15 if he's lucky. Doesn't really compete for stage points, so he shouldn't be an issue. And then the 4 and the 23. The 4, I just don't see him being competitive enough to point his way up in there because he's not going to win a race. And the 23 being so far behind on stage points, playoff points, he'll have to make up some points somewhere. And I don't see Darlington or Bristol being a track where he can do that. His only chance is going to be Kansas. He'll be fast at Kansas, but I just think he'll be too far back, all things being considered. So my guys that I have in the round of 12 are going to be the 24, the 19, the 11, the 17, the 8, the 5, the 20, the 6, the 1, the 22, the 12, and the 34. 34 is very controversial here. He's been very consistent this year. A lot of top 15s, some stage points, played some good strategy to get some points. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be good enough to beat a couple of those guys, maybe get lucky, and point his way in. He'll be the last one in. He'll be 12, but I think he'll do it.
Okay, so my 12 is Byron. We're at the 24, the 19, the 11, the 17, the 5, the 20, the 6, the 45, the 22, the 12, the 4, and the 23. So now who I have advancing out of the round of 12, which the tracks are Texas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of 3 different tracks, very different tracks. Who I have advancing to the round of 8 is William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Larson. So who I have not making it is the 6 of Brad Keselowski, the 45 of Tyler Reddick, the 4 of Kevin Harvick, and the 23 of Bubba Wallace. The 6 of Brad Keselowski, this round, other than Talladega, just does not... Now, I know the 6 was very fast here last year at Texas, but I think Brad is going to have to win Talladega to make it out of this round. Because Charlotte Roval, we've seen it. He's going to struggle at Charlotte Roval. That 6 car is just not good on road courses. Texas, he can be good, but you just never know. And I think you're going to have a couple guys, stronger organizations are going to be a little faster than that 6 car. So I think he has to win at Talladega, and he can. He definitely can. But I think that's the only way Brad makes it out of the round of 12. Tyler Reddick, a super speedway, not great. Road course, Charlotte Roval, that's the one that worries me. And then Texas. I know he won at Texas last year in the 8 car. I just think mistakes are going to pile up on this team, and I just don't think they can. They're going to make mistakes that are going to cost them a chance to make it into the round 8. I think there'll be a chance to win Texas and Charlotte Roval, but I think they'll fuck it up one or both times, and they'll miss. And then the 4, Kevin Harvick, just speed. I mean, he has been very bad on road courses the past several years, and Texas is his best shot. Talladega's got a chance like anybody else, but Daytona this past weekend is the first time I've really seen Kevin Harvick in the past couple of years really challenge for a win at a super speedway. So don't really see it for Harvick. And then Bubba Wallace, his shot's Talladega. He's going to be bad at Charlotte Roval. I mean, he was pretty damn good at Watkins Glen, but he won't challenge for stage points or wins or the win at Charlotte Roval. And then Texas, I just don't see Bubba Wallace being very fast there. He has a chance, but no playoff points is going to hurt him, because I think he'll probably outpoint some people that will make it out of this round, but he just don't have enough playoff points that he can bank on to get him to the round of 8. So that's why Bo Wallace eliminated in the round of 12.
All right, so I think, if I heard you correctly, I think we have the same round of 8. You got the 24, the 19, the 11, the 17, the 5, the 22, the 12. Okay, and I have the 8, so we're one wrong.
Okay.
So I have the 8. Who do you have instead
20.
of the 8? The 20. Okay. Yeah, I've got the 20 being eliminated in the round of 12. I've got the 6 being eliminated. I've got the 1 being eliminated. And I've got the 34 being eliminated. So
really, if Michael McDowell, I think if he makes it past the round of 16, he will make it into the round of 8. I think it's a very good round for McDowell.
I don't think Texas.
He's got.
I don't think
Talladega and Charlotte Roval.
Yes, sure he does, but he doesn't have the playoff points.
That's true.
Texas is going to be really, really difficult for them. And I mean, probably 20th to 25th, no stage points. Talladega's a crapshoot, and he'll probably have to win the Roval. So I just don't see that happening. The one car, I think he's fast enough, got some playoff points to get to the round of 12, but he's not. He hadn't shown enough consistency this year. None of those Trackhouse cars have. Same thing you said with Brad. He's going to have to win Talladega if he wants to make it out of the round of 12. Just don't really see that happening. He's got an opportunity to do it, but so does everybody else. So can't bank on winning that race. And then the 20 car, that's going to be my shocker, not making it to the round of 8 because there's really no reason why I'm picking him not to, because he's good at all those tracks. He'll be decent at the Charlotte Roval, probably won't win. He'll be decent at Talladega, probably won't win. But Texas, he'll have an opportunity to win that race. But I just, you got to pick a guy in your playoffs that should make it pretty far, but that doesn't. So this year it's going to be the 20 for me. So that gives you my round of 8 being the 24, the 19, the 11, the 17, the 5, the 22, the 12, and the 8.
Okay, yeah, we disagree on one, and that's Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch. So round of 8 now, we got tracks of
Martinsville's the last one.
Martinsville, Homestead, and Vegas. So 2 1/2 in a short track.
Yep.
And who I have making it to the championship 4 out of those 3 races, Kyle Larson will make it to the championship 4. Christopher Bell will make it to the championship 4. Martin Truex Jr. will make it to the championship 4. And Ryan Blaney will make it to the championship 4. So I have Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Chris Buescher, and Joe Logano eliminated in this round. And okay, I'll explain myself. So William Byron, he's had a great year. Best year by far. But I think he's just too inconsistent. He's fast almost every week. I just, like, when he won last week at Watkins Glen, did he really? I mean, yeah, he was fast car. He just
second best car there.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of got not lucky. I mean, he drove his tail off. But I don't know. He won at Atlanta, rain short, and got lucky. And you look at Martinsville, he's decent at Martinsville. He's decent at Las Vegas. He's decent at Homestead. I mean, I know Homestead's probably his best track, but I think his teammate will be better than him and Kyle Larson. Homestead's going to be his chance. And I know he's got a lot of playoff points to bank, so he finishes top 10 all 3 races. He probably can make it to the championship 4. But I just think Martinsville could be a problem for him, and I think Las Vegas could be a problem for this team. He's had a breakout year, but I think it's still just 1 year away from making to that championship 4 for William Byron and this team. They were him and that 5 car were stupid fast at the beginning of the year. And we've seen since late spring that he just haven't had that speed. I know he's won 5 races, but I just don't see him making it. Denny Hamlin, that's the one that I'm really not confident of why he can't make the championship 4. Martinsville is one of his best tracks, but we all know Martinsville is not really a driver's track anymore. It's really about track position. And he qualifies well, so it doesn't really make no sense for me not to pick him at Martinsville to run really well. Vegas and Homestead. He's not great at Homestead. I think he's got 2 wins at Homestead. But I think last year he kind of struggled at Homestead in this next gen car. So I'm not very confident in Homestead for him. That's the one that I don't have confidence in. He won't make it, but I'm just gonna go Denny Hamlin. He never gets the championship, so I think he'll get eliminated again. And Chris Buescher's kind of the obvious one here. He had that 2021 first stage at Homestead set up. He might be okay, but other than that, Martinsville's not a great track for him. Las Vegas, he's kind of the odd man out. It's only the track suit, the 17, and it's kind of the hell of a year. Make it around to 8. Your time's kind of, your clock's done ticked out. 17 just ain't got quite the raw speed that the rest of these guys have. And Joey Logano, he's just the one that he hasn't shown a whole lot of winning speed all year, but Joey Logano is going to bring his best in the playoffs. And Martinsville, he was not good in the spring, but he finished second. Kind of got lucky off a caution, I think. Vegas, he wasn't great. I think he wrecked out, finished last. And Homestead's never been Joey Logano's best track other than 2018 when he won the championship, beating Martin Truex Jr. and winning the damn war. Never been a great track for him, but I just don't think they'll have the speed. I think his teammate Ryan Blaney will just have a little bit more speed in all 3 races.
Yeah, so I've got William Byron making it. I've got Martin Truex making it. I've got Denny making it. I've got Blaney.
He's making it twice?
Yeah, he's going to do it. He's so nice, got to pick him twice. And I got Blaney making it. Same thing you said with 17, just odd man out. Doesn't really have any tracks that suit him. His best option's probably going to be to win that Homestead race.
He can win Martinsville. The Fords are fast in the
spring. Sure, he can.
But
it's just like you said, that's not his best track. Haven't really ever seen him run super well there. Yeah. Brad's the one that out of the Roush camp that I would pick to win that race out of the 2. So I've got 17 out. I've got the 5 out. I think he'll be competitive again, but they're just not winning a ton of races right now.
It's hard to pick against Kyle Larson at Homestead.
It is, but it's.
That's why I have him. He's going to win Homestead. I think that's how he's going to make it in.
And he definitely could, but I think he'll have to because I think he's going to struggle at Martinsville. I think he
won at the spring race.
Yeah, I know. It's not really his. He's not, like you say, he's not a short track driver.
He's not.
It's
other than Bristol.
Yeah, it's going to be about track position. Of course, Joey Logano just hasn't had the season that you thought Joey would have. He'll be competitive everywhere, just playoff points, and
if you take out
get beat by some of these guys.
If you take out Brad Keselowski's not willing to block Joey up at the top at Atlanta in the spring, Joey's right with Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
And Brad Keselowski.
Yeah. So Brad would have that win. So.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But and then the 8 car, I think it's just his time to get backed out of there, leaving it down to the 4 of 24, 19, 11, and 12. One thing on that 8 car, just inconsistency is going to bite him in this round. Around 8, you got to be perfect if you want to make it. The 24 and the 19, as long as they don't really have any mistakes, I think they're locks to make it to the round of 4. I mean, they've just got so many playoff points, and they're going to be fast. They're going to win stages and get more. So probably both win a race or 2 in the playoffs. So I think those guys are locks. Denny Hamlin, he's always right there, nipping on the butt of a championship. I think he's going to do it again this year. And then, of course, I picked Ryan Blaney to win the championship this year, so I got to put him in the fucking championship race.
I got you. Yeah, so mine's Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney. 2 of my 4 guys, a little bit biased. I picked Blaney because he hasn't shown race-winning speed this year a lot, but I think the tracks in the playoffs, I think, is when Blaney's going to really, hopefully, show some winning speed and maybe win a race or 2 to get him into each round. But my championship 4, like I said, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Mark Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney. And I had at the beginning of the year Christopher Bell winning it. I'm changing my mind. I just haven't seen enough from that 20 car, the 20 team. They've only won one race. They haven't even won a damn non-dirt race. They won the Bristol dirt race. That's how they're in the playoffs. They've had a lot of speed. They just cannot finish races like a lot of Toyota teams. So Kyle Larson, he's good, but he's just been a little off this year. Beginning of the year, yeah, he definitely could have won the championship. I think with all the speed they had, him in the 24. Over the summer, they kind of faltered a little bit. Phoenix is not his best racetrack. It was a good racetrack for Kyle, but never the greatest. So I don't see him winning it. Blaney, he was super fast here last year in the fall. Probably had the fastest car, but he kind of let his teammate Joey Logano win the race, kind of have him be a buffer between Joey and Ross. If Blaney makes it, he'll definitely contend for the win in the championship. But there's a guy, just feel like he missed the playoffs last year. He's had a great season. He's been the most consistently fast car over the summer. He won the regular season championship. I think he's gonna win the main prize, I'm about to say Monster Energy Cup Series, the Cup Series championship, and that's gonna be Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't disagree with anything you said. You're probably right, but I, unlike you, am not a little bitch, so I'm not changing my mind. Give me the 12. Like you said it yourself.
Woo, go 12.
Go 12. If he makes it to Phoenix, he'll have a chance. I think he was the fastest car there last year, just didn't really need to pass Joey, had no reason to. So if they make it that far, I think the 12 is going to be the car to beat at Phoenix. So I'm picking the 12 to win the championship.